fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
Breaking Benjamin. And 3 Days Grace. Live. September 23rd at Casey Center. With special guest Return to Dust. Get tickets now at HyVeeTips.com. Laser 103.3 presents Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace.
Those guys are going to...
Murph and Andy, talking sports and more, exclusively on Iowa Everywhere. Driven by Ramsey Subaru of Des Moines. From the Channel Seed Studios, here are Keith Murphy and Andy Fales.
It is sports and more here on a Wednesday. Welcome to Murph and Andy. Andy, I usually haven't talked to you or chatted with you when we come on the air here, but I have today because you've already had kind of a head-spinning morning.
Yeah, excuse me. Yes, we have. We got our daughter, Elin, is a ninth grader at Valley Southwoods, and they had an active shooter alarm go off over there. We will be reporting on this in the WHO 13 News today. We've had a crew there. We were told by the school district that it was it sounds like a false alarm. There was no active threat. They have not gone so far as to really go into the details about the nature of the alarm. But the schools these days have these active shooter alarms. The whole routine that they do, the procedure, and they have to take it very, very seriously.
We get why.
We understand, yeah.
Yeah.
They had to evacuate the entire building, bring all the kids outside. There is an adjacent elementary school there in West Des Moines across the field from Valley Southwoods, Jordan Creek Elementary. They had to evacuate that school as well, I'm told. And then they pull the kids out, and then, it's not a drill at the time that they're doing that.
So they're scared.
It's real. So everybody's very freaked out.
Sure.
And, we hear about it. You sent that to me, a screenshot of the Des Moines Police Scanner Facebook page, that feed. Everybody sees it. The parents certainly see it. They see it before the school is able to release any sort of information. The schools are very careful about, when they do release the information, an official statement, what they say. I mean, they need to make sure that they're, very solid on all the details and the facts. So you're just seeing all these feeds, right? I mean, you're seeing Facebook feeds, you're seeing Twitter, you're seeing, if you're listening to a police scanner, which a lot of people do, you're hearing that. And so it spreads around the parent groups very, very quickly, as it did with us. And then the kids who, are not allowed to use their phones in the class time right
That's
now.
right.
But they've got phones on them. They're texting as well. And so, parents start picking up their kids, right? I mean, that's what they do. And then, even when the school comes out and says, okay, there's no active threat, everything is fine, we're going to bring the kids back in.
The kids are still unsettled.
Yeah, the bell's already rung, and the paste is already out of the tube. So it's like, what do you do after that? Do you try to go on with a school day, or do you just have to call it at that point? And if that's going to happen, I mean, that this is going to be abused. This is going to be kids are going to use this as a way to get out of class, and you have to take it seriously.
Yeah, we're not that far removed from Perry.
Absolutely not, or Minneapolis, or any other school shooting that we have in this country all the time.
We used to have that feeling like, well, that can't happen here, but it can happen here, and it has.
Yeah. So, and then if, let's say, you do decide to say, all right, no, I know that this is not real. I trust the school. This is good. Put your kid back in class. Well, then what? Half the class is gone, and the teachers are freaked out about this too.
Sure.
So, I mean, really, can you have the rest of class? So, it is something that I don't think any school district in this country is immune from or immune to. I think it's just something that it's just a sign of the times. It's the day and age.
If we had the answer of what to do, we would come forward with it. Like it's just.
We'd have done it years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
It is. Well, it meant breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah. I mean, I want to know. I want to know how this happened, and
Right.
Certainly if we find out some kid pulled this alarm. This had happened at Eddie's elementary school last year. There was something like this, and it was a substitute teacher who accidentally bumped the alarm, didn't know about it, and that's going to happen too. But we kind of found out about it, and then you kind of move on. But what I want to know is if this is a kid that pulled this, then you kind of really come down hard on that kid, because you cannot have this for.
This is not a good practical joke.
Five different reasons. I mean,
Right.
So that's kind of where we're at this morning here.
And
in West Des Moines.
your voice sounds shot from the cold you picked up on RVTV.
Yeah, I don't know what I got there, but there's some kind of an RVTV bug. We've all gotten it year in and
We've
year
all
out.
had them.
Yeah, you've had them in the past.
Several
I've had
times.
them, and I think Ed's got a little something as well too. So I mean, we're all just trying to battle through it. But I don't sound good, and I don't feel good, and I need to get over it. So I'm gonna keep my distance from everybody today.
Well, that makes sense. Ed is limping around, dragging that right leg behind, or is it his left leg? Anyway, he's having his knee drained today.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
right. He's got a knee thing too, right?
Yeah, we all have to go see the doctor the week after RVTV.
Yeah.
So, well, I had an incident, nothing like yours this morning, but I could hear Teeny, our little 8-pound Chihuahua, just going nuts. And Jenny was freaked out because she let Teeny outside to use the bathroom, and an owl tried to swoop down and pick up Teeny as food. So now we've got that worry.
This
here
morning
at our
was
house.
like
that happened this morning.
Oh my God!
Just
Was it
swooped
almost
in to try to
dark?
take Teeny for an early breakfast or early lunch or something. So
Teeny's teeny, but that would be a big meal for an owl. But
be a big meal. It was a big owl, I guess. But
yeah, those great horned owls are big.
Guest House Tavern and Oyster in West Des Moines sets the table for today's sports and more, assisted by AD. AD, thank you for this. Dud Weekend, Unpopular Vote, and Wicked Good Movies with Mr. Movie, all coming up. And a reminder that nightly specials at Guest House Tavern, Wednesday, Walleye Wednesday, fresh walleye, salt and vinegar fries, $20. That's tonight. High or low since the last show.
Presented by Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax.
I was just texting with Tim Hawkins this morning. He wanted everybody to know that with the Fed likely lowering interest rates next week, it's a great time to review your 401k or other investment holdings to ensure that you're positioned to capitalize on all this kind of stuff. That may not make perfect sense to everybody, but that's why you have a guy like Tim Hawkins in Wealth Charter Retirement.
I turn that stuff over to the experts.
Yeah. Well, he will make the most out of your money. You can reach them at wealthcharterretirement.com. I'm a low today, as we have already covered, and I won't go into it anymore. The RVTV bug bit me this year, and I'm having a little trouble shaking it, but I'm gonna get through it. All right, Murph, how about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go high here. This was just a really cool thing that happened last week. So, Andy, you'll recall 2 years ago, the Maid-Rite in Newton was closing after nearly 100 years, and an anonymous person in Newton bought the Maid-Rite to keep it open, feeling like it was a community staple. And Chris Barton, who used to play football at Newton, sent Justin and I these jerseys for the game the other night. If you're not watching it, it just reads Channel 13. It's got the Maid-Rite logo there.
That's the real deal. That's the mesh.
Yep, that's the mesh, just stitched on. Got my name on it. Justin had his name on it.
Kind of
Sorry.
looks like a Brock Purdy jersey, except with your name on it.
Yeah, it does. That's a good point. And also, He sent the T-shirt version as well.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, also stitched on.
Wow.
And Chris Barton, who played football at Newton, he also, because he was so excited that Newton was being featured in the Football Friday primetime game again, he bought the entire team those cool alternate uniforms that Newton was wearing Friday night. White helmets, white shirts, white pants, white cleats. It was a very clean look. And I know the person who bought Made Right is anonymous, but Chris Barton, you are my top suspect of doing something because you love the Newton community. I am moving him into the just might be Chris Barton behind Saving Newton, which is about to celebrate the Made Right in Newton, its 100th year.
Well, I'm all about saving old restaurants, old classic places, and Made Right is near and dear to my heart. The old Made Rights I'm talking about, like not the chain, but the Taylor's Made Rights of Marshalltown, the one there in Newton. There's one down in Ottumwa, I believe. The canteen serves Made Rights and that kind of stuff. I love those places.
The one that Hassel would do the Zabel spoofs on Made Right, and one of them, didn't he have like his feet in the meat?
Yeah, that was the Taylor's Made Right. Yeah, where they would sit on the edge. Yeah, he put his feet in there.
Jeez, that's just it's
Zip
too
Rizzo.
much.
Yeah.
Let's get the buzz here on a Wednesday.
The Buzz. Brought to you by Logier Heating and Cooling.
Speaking of long-time community members, Logier Heating and Cooling nearing 120 years in the Des Moines area.
You're going to need those air conditioners again this week.
90s.
Have you seen Ed's forecast? Yeah, Friday night, 92. Saturday, 94. I thought we were done with this stuff.
Do you see the forecast for Jonesboro, Arkansas, where Iowa State's playing?
It's like 100, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
Oh,
it's 100. That's going to be a hot game. Speaking of that, the buzz. After a week of passion and high interest, we all have to kind of mentally adjust to as far as a drop-off as I can remember. I mean, these are two dud games. Iowa State is at Arkansas State. That's a team the Cyclones beat 52-7 last year in Ames. Matt Campbell is clearly annoyed that the number 14 team in the country from the Big 12 Conference has to travel to a group of 5 team to play Arkansas State. This deal was made before Campbell was the coach, and I wouldn't expect it to be made again, although Jamie Pollard has said this saves Iowa State a lot of money by making this deal. But that's just a game you don't want to go play, especially after you've already traveled to Dublin, which no one knew when this deal was made. I mean, that's a lot of travel in the first month of the season. Iowa plays UMass. UMass is in the conversation for worst team in America, and it got even worse, Andy. UMass just lost to Bryant. Props to you if you know where Bryant is. Any guesses?
Is that short for Lane Bryant?
It is.
Plus-sized woman's store in the mall?
They practice in the outlet mall. They do. They all put on plus-size clothing.
It's a seamstress school.
And scrimmage.
Yeah. You can major
Brian.
major
I don't
in
know where
fabric
Brian
sales.
is.
Yeah.
Smithfield, Rhode Island. The Fighting Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Rhode Island. Way to go, AD. But it gets worse for UMass. This bad UMass team won't have its starting quarterback, 2 starting wide receivers, and 2 rotation cornerbacks. Iowa only scored 34 against a bad Albany team, but the Hawkeyes are still favored by 36 against UMass. That tells you how bad UMass is. So Arkansas State on the road and UMass at night. It's a night game.
Well, I was thinking about this last night, and I hate this. I think it's awful. There's no upside. I feel like, especially for Iowa State, this is all there is downside.
See, I thought you zagged when I thought you were going to zig there. I thought you were going to say, I was giving this some thought last night, and I think these games come at a good time. And
I hadn't totally finished my thought there. I apologize. It's too long of a thought. But I mean, I hate this, but I was just wondering, do the fans, the Cyclone and Hawkeye fans, do they hate it too? We hate it because it's not entertaining and it just completely goes against the spirit of, the whole point of watching sports. But Iowa needs a tune-up. They need to continue tuning up. Let's put it that way. I don't know if I was a Hawkeye fan, this isn't sexy. You're not excited, but I might feel like my team kind of needs this right now or could use this a little bit. Like it's not that bad. It's maybe not as bad as jumping right into the Big Ten schedule against somebody that's tough. Iowa State, I think it's a little bit more clear cut. I can't imagine any Iowa State fans actually glad that they have to go travel to Arkansas and play in 100 degrees against a team that means nothing. But
before a bye week too, so then you have to wait another week.
Right. But you do get a little more tuning, I guess, which is just really the best thing that we can say about these stupid non-conference patsies that every team plays. But I wonder if the fans feel a little differently than we do.
I wonder too. And as John Sears pointed out on Sound Off a couple of weeks ago, it's absolutely nonsensical that you're in an 18-team conference or a 16-team conference, and you're still scheduling a couple of teams that are of no interest to the fans. Nobody wants to see these games. The television networks don't want to put these games on. The easy solution is to play more games that count and matter and are attractive and produce money, but yet here we are still doing this. AD, say Mark Gronowski and the Iowa offense goes out there and just cooks against UMass. I almost said Bryant. How much better do you actually feel?
Not at all. None better. That's the thing. I like the first game being kind of one of these bye games. I'm okay with that. It's like a preseason game to me. You ease into the season. You have all the feeling of, hey, football's back. I get to see my team. So it doesn't really matter that the game is usually not in question. To have the high of the Cyhawk game and then the low of this game, and like we have to stay up late to watch this game. Hassel and I are going to be on the air like past 11 o'clock. It'd be past midnight Hassel's time when we're talking about Iowa UMass. And as you said, maybe Iowa does need more time to tune up, and great. If they can use this to then blow out Rutgers and look good against Indiana, awesome. But as a fan, this does nothing for us. I mean, Iowa could win 70-0, and you're still going to feel like all of the same issues that were there last Saturday are going to be there next Friday.
So are you saying that you wish you didn't have this game?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Wish we didn't have this. I would much rather play, even in a loss. Like even if it's a tough team, I'd much rather play a game that you can get excited about. I'd much rather go right into Big Ten play. It's just such a downer.
That's a good point, because if this game this week was Rutgers, that would be much more interesting. On the road, coming out of the Iowa State game, a lot of question marks. Should beat Rutgers, and Iowa did a lot of things well against Iowa State. Just the offense, again, especially the passing offense, just looks so bad. Now, Iowa State's Matt Campbell is going to try to convince us, and already has, that Arkansas State is Ohio State. He's also pointed out, without tongue-in-cheek, that Arkansas State has the best quarterback that Iowa State will face all season. That's not true. ISU did lose at Ohio a couple of years ago, but that Ohio team turned out to be really good. This is not that team. But here, let's hear from the number 14 Cyclones.
We have so many players that we played in these games and failed. And to be honest with you, like the reality of it is the respect first and foremost for Arkansas State. I mean, this will be the best quarterback, in my opinion, that from a mobility, throw ability, playmaking ability standpoint that we're going to play.
We treat every game the same, so I think that's the biggest thing, is treating Arkansas State just like Iowa. Like you gotta move on to the next week. Can't ride the highs, can't ride the lows. You just gotta stay to it.
We want something greater and bigger, so we just had to move forward and just keep on working on little details and just work on preparation.
Thanks to WHO 13's David Warrington for the video. Andy, did you realize Iowa State hasn't trailed this season?
Did I realize it? I hadn't thought
I
about it. I mean, I hadn't thought about it.
Iowa,
it makes sense. Right. Yeah, yeah.
The main topic at Iowa, Groundhog Day.
Well, it's Groundhog Day. Again?
Again, the passing offense looks bad again. Mark Gronowski and Kirk Ferentz say it is coming along.
There's a lot of opportunities that we left out there. We could have executed a lot better on certain plays, and maybe that would have changed the game. But, we headed to the film room, we learned from it, and we're going to continue to progress this year. It's a long season, and we're going to continue to improve every single week.
Thought we made some improvements on Saturday. We grew from week one in the passing game. It was not good, the week one. We talked about that a week ago. So, we'll just keep pushing forward and continue to grow. And two things going on there. I think, our players get more comfortable as we move forward. Then also we learn more. It's one key takeaway, I think, anytime you look early in the season as a staff, if we're not learning about the current group of players that we have.
Also, Addison Ostringa, Kirk Ferentz said what we thought would probably happen, because Ferentz said after the Iowa State game that it didn't look good, and when he says that, he usually already knows it's bad. So Ostringa's out for the season. Moulton and Vanderzee also out with injuries. Let's get a quickie poll here from WCI Pools and Spas and Ames in Urban.
Do you believe Iowa Hawkeyes can still go 10-2? Yes, see 2002 and general Iowa history, or no, see the offense and the upcoming schedule.
So legends and listeners, Leistico and Doctorman picked 10-2. Is that correct?
I believe so, yeah.
I know Chad Leistico did. I'm not positive on Doc, but I think so. I think he said to be in the college football playoff conversation. 2002, as a reminder, that team lost to Iowa State at home, and then did not lose again in the regular season, which shared the Big Ten championship. AD, let's start with you on this.
No, I don't. I will say I never thought Iowa could go 10-2. 9-3 was kind of my ceiling on the season, and I did think if they got there, depending on who they beat, there was a chance they'd be in the conversation for the college football playoff, but not for like a Big Ten championship. But no, I don't see this team. Now I could still see this team winning 8 games, maybe even 9 games, but you have the schedule they have in front of them, and the offense with just an inability to put up points. Teams like Oregon are going to be a real struggle for Iowa. And then even if you are counting on 8 wins, you're counting on everything going right. You're counting on some guys making huge plays like Caleb Johnson did over and over last year. And you're counting on this offense to keep progressing in a positive direction, which we haven't seen happen in 5 years through the course of a season. So, no, I think it's more likely Iowa goes 6-6 than 10-2.
Oregon and Penn State are at Kinnick Stadium. But I think you also have to look into the past 10 games against top 10 teams, as we've noted, as many people have noted.
Top 25 teams, yeah.
Top 25 teams, sorry. Top 25 teams, Iowa's 0-10, past 10 games against top 25 teams. And most of those games have not been close. I mean, Iowa used to hang in there and be competitive against top 25 teams, but lately that's not been the case, although they did that Saturday. It was anybody's game against Iowa State. But most of the past 10 top 25 matchups with Iowa have not been close the past 4 years. So, Andy, it's hard to see 10-2 with Indiana, Nebraska, Penn State, Oregon, Minnesota, all still to come.
Well, to give those guys a break, I mean, we will all acknowledge, I mean, they made that pick before they had seen anything. I mean, they were totally blind at the time. They had no idea. And we all thought that we would have seen more from Mark Gronowski at this point. We all thought that. I'm not sure that we should have, but, we all saw that. I thought that I would see much more from the Iowa running game in the Iowa State game than we did. Mm-hmm. Iowa State clearly played a good game of defense, but I still thought that the Hawkeye rushing offense would look better.
The starter is out, Moulton, but it doesn't seem like anybody was concerned about that because it's kind of running back by committee.
It didn't look like they were punching the kind of holes that we've seen in the past. And then we haven't seen, I mean, Ostringa is out, but we just haven't seen the Iowa tight ends there for Mark Gronowski at this point, like we've seen in the past with some of these other offenses that they've had in Iowa City. But so, I think now all of that said, it's funny with Iowa because there's just always this gigantic caveat. All of that said, I mean, Iowa still won a ton of games with Deacon Hill at quarterback in the past.
10 games.
So we have to, yes.
One season won 10 games.
Yeah, I mean, you have to say, well, they've looked worse at quarterback before. I mean, it's crazy that's always
out there. Was that the Big
there.
Ten West, his 10-win season?
Yeah.
It must have still been.
Yeah,
the Big
I
Ten
know,
West.
but it was still a lot of games that, I mean, it was all defense. And those are different defenses. I feel like those are different defenses than they've got this year. But, I mean, with the defense, it was just like that was the whole team, defense and special teams. And then Iowa, the offense just like, they didn't do anything, but at the same time, in just enough games, they also didn't hurt the team, and they won. They found a way to win. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that, you know, that they find a way to do that kind of thing this year, especially if Gronowski improves.
Yeah, it's hard to see getting to 10 with this
It is.
schedule, but Iowa can win some games the way it was in this game against Iowa State, which was hanging around and having a shot on that final drive, and they didn't get it done. But we've seen them do that kind of thing recently against Nebraska, where it seemed like Nebraska might have had the better team that day. And then at the end, Iowa just found a way to win the games. Kirk Ferentz has won a lot of games, part of what makes him a legendary coach. 4.3 million viewers on average watch the Cyhawk game. It was the most watched noon game, and this is the most watched Iowa State football game on record. Now, some records don't go all the way back. We didn't used to track this stuff the way we do now, but that's a good number and good for this series, because one of the knocks you'll hear sometimes is you can't get people to watch two teams from the same small population state. But this is a good number. I think it ends up being third on the whole Saturday for viewership. So good sign.
It got a lot of promotion. I was in a good position. And, you know, it's a good matchup. I think, you know, I think people in the past who've watched this game just kind of, you know, by chance watched the game, saw that it was worth watching and probably came back. Objective viewers from out of state did that. You know, I mean, it's a regional rivalry. It's what college football is all about. I mean, I hear there is a regional rivalry going on. I want to turn it on. I don't care who it is. I mean,
it's the best of college football when it happens. And you're right
Kansas,
about the promotion,
Missouri's on.
too.
I want to see that. I mean, you know, a couple of schools have major history with each other. Put me down.
Fox really put a lot of promotion in this. I mean, everything from, you know, Portnoy, who has this massive following, going around and hitting local pizza parlors, and the big noon kickoff, and Tyrese Halliburton coming in for the game. They did put a lot behind this, and the fans showed up for it. Interact on YouTube. The email is Murph_Andy at iowaeverywhere.com. On X, it's Murph_Andy, all powered by the Cellular Advantage, and U.S. Cellular now merged with T-Mobile, so you can get the best of both worlds. U.S. Cellular is the top-ranked Iowa network. All right, some more hot topics here. AP voter Haley Sawyer getting a lot of attention. AP voter in the top 25 football poll. She's from Southern California, lives in Los Angeles. She left South Florida out of her top 25, and she moved Florida up 2 spots after South Florida beat Florida. Polls are flawed. We all understand that. But Sawyer's explanation did not help.
But as far as what my votes are and what my process is, you know, I wake up early in the morning after covering a game late in the night before. Don't want to go too much into my progress or process or logic, but I will say I appreciate everybody's interaction on social media and all of your feedback. You know, there's tons of people that vote on the AP poll, and like, it's not a perfect system, but at the end of the day, like, no matter who you pick, it does even out because there's so many people who vote. And like I said, it's really fun for discussion. It doesn't, you know, probably matter in the end.
Well, there's a lot of problems with this, Andy. Let's start with it does matter. because the poll shapes narratives. It shapes the committee to some extent. It shapes that first college football poll that comes out from the committee. Of course it matters. Maybe it matters more than it should. It is a flawed system. But I think the biggest flaw here is I voted in an AP poll and removed myself after 1 year because I could tell I wasn't qualified. I couldn't keep up with everything. She just needed to come out and say, I missed that. I missed that South Florida beat Florida. It's my mistake. Sorry. I'll vote again next week. I'll take into account the game's better. I just missed it. I made a mistake. To double down on how the poll doesn't really matter and the system is flawed and it's all kind of fun conversation. And then one more step beyond this, there are so many women in sportscasting and sports writing who are really qualified. And you have one example like this, and it hurts all of those who are every bit as qualified as I am or you are. So it's just a bad look.
Yeah, and all the haters are going to use this brush to paint everything.
And they shouldn't.
No, they shouldn't. But honestly, I mean, if you have somebody like that, I mean,
take
on the
vote
record,
away.
on the or you know, have a little tally, you know, on all of these voters where they make picks like this. It gets marked against them, and they get a couple of 2-3 marks against them, they're out. And take their vote out because, I mean, honestly, you don't want to be contributing to a poll if you know you're unqualified. You don't want to be a part of that. This doesn't do anything for her. She's not getting paid for that. She's not getting.
It's a pain.
Yeah, she's
a
not
lot
getting.
of work.
She's not getting a free car to use, an AP car. She doesn't have a credit card or something that she can go run up, dinner tabs on. I mean, she's getting nothing for this. And if you're not contributing to that, and it's only, bringing you, blowback, which she said it was clearly,
yes,
then you don't want to be a part of that kind of thing. So it is a hard thing. I mean, can you imagine, keeping track of all that shit?
I tried and I didn't do it well.
And you're not, and really you can't just look at the scores.
Everybody
you have to know the backstory.
Everybody here on Iowa Everywhere knows last year they had to run me down for my picks each week because I'm so busy in football season, and I'd be like, oh God, forgot again. And I didn't want to just mail it in. So I'd try to do some research and have some kind of intelligence behind the picks. But that's why I'm not doing it this year. Shout out Randy Peterson for letting me out of that. Should have followed your lead on that, Andy, which was just, no, I don't want to do that. Because it is a lot of work. And that's just like weekly picks, the whole top 25. And then, let's say she has some process where she actually thinks that even though South Florida beat Florida, Florida should still move up. Just tell us what that is. I mean, you don't say, I don't want to go into my whole process. I think she just missed that game, and we all make mistakes. That's an example of just come out and own it. And just an example of how this is not a female thing. Chad Bishop votes in the AP. He moved Notre Dame from unranked to number 8 after a bye week. And in the AP poll itself, Notre Dame, who started the season 0-1, moved up 1 in the AP poll after not playing last weekend. So, yes, it's flawed, but, man, that's a bad look. I wish she had asked somebody, how do I handle this?
Yeah, right. And you could make an argument, at least make an argument that, hey, look, I know they lost this game. I still think they're the better team. I don't think they played well. Something like that. You could cobble something like that together. But Ryder Boy points out, I mean, having different opinions is fine, but every voter should at least be required to back up the logic behind their ranking. And I agree with that. And you do want very different perspectives here. You want them from all over the country. You want them from all walks of life, and you want those. But people need to be able to back up their work.
Michigan State versus USC next week. It is an 11 p.m. Eastern time kick. Big Ten after dark.
That's what you get.
That's what you get for realignment that makes no sense and for weakening college football rivalries and geographical footprints. Now, the Big Ten, though, what I don't get and what I think the Big Ten has to revisit, they're protecting West Coast teams from early morning kicks, not making them kick off at 8 a.m. in California or 9 a.m. Well, Michigan they're on Eastern time zone there.
Michigan State. Yeah.
Michigan State. Yeah. This should work both ways. If the West Coast teams are protected from early morning kickoffs, the Michigan States, Michigans, Ohio States, even the Iowas on Central Time should be protected from their games ending at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's a little easier to play a game late than play one super early, but it still screws you up for the next day, next several days. I mean, it's just not. Look, I mean, there's not going to be a perfect system here. I mean, the Big Ten put themselves in this stupid situation. I mean, it's a mess. We're going to have more stuff like this.
Yep.
And there isn't. I mean, anytime you try to do one broadcast in a country that has, 4 or 5 different time zones, you're going to have problems like this. But I mean, that's kind of the whole point of these conferences, right? Is that they were supposed to be regional when they started out. It was supposed to be like
sense.
Neighbors, right? Playing against each other, neighboring states. And, they were supposed to have all of these things in common. And now you don't have anything in common.
And I'll be a hypocrite that night. I'll be like, oh, yeah, that's right. Michigan State and USC are about to kick off.
Just watch all day
game.
long. Yeah, right.
Great.
Just keeps on going. Yeah, because it sucks when you're down to that, that Boise State game or whatever, and it's the only thing that's left on TV, and you're still, you still got a gathering that's got plenty of life to it. You want to keep watching, and it's a blowout, and you're watching the second half, and it sucks.
You sound like you just smoked a carton of Marlboros.
I apologize. I know that's annoying.
The Bears. Sorry, AD. Are you ready?
No.
No. No, I'm not. This has not been a good few days for you.
It's been rough.
You need a hug.
It's funny because there was a time in my life where I was like, every time the Hawkeyes weren't very good, the Bears would be good, and then vice versa. And it was like, man, I always have a football team worth cheering for. And about halfway through the second quarter on Monday night, I was like, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
Down year for the Hawks.
New coach.
Do you have any memory of 1985? Do you have any memory of that? Yeah.
No, I would have been 2.
That was the.
I have memory of the
year.
06 Super Bowl where they got smoked by Peyton Manning and the Colts.
Oof.
Yeah, I mean the Kyle Orton era is kind of the peak of my life as a Bears fan.
Well, you have a new head coach who's, I think, going to be good. And for 3 quarters? At least the first half. But for 3 quarters, the Bears look good. Caleb Williams looked good.
He completed his first
10
12
passes.
Yeah, it was like he looked great.
J.J. McCarthy, first-year starter, second-year quarterback. He did not look good for the Vikings. Threw a pick 6, but he kept his head about him. He's clearly being well coached. And in the fourth quarter, he had a debut that no quarterback's ever had. He had 2 touchdowns passing, 1 touchdown running in the fourth quarter in his debut, and the Vikings win it 27-24. If you're a Vikings fan, you got to love the way he looked shaky, but then when it counted, he was making plays, and in the fourth quarter, the Bears quarterback looked shaky.
I was talking with Williams and Dave Sprouse. We all know is a big Vikings fan.
Sprouse a Vikings fan too?
Big time. Oh yeah.
I know Williams
has been hurting for a long time. We were trying to come up with the Vikings Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks. And so you got Fran Tarkenton, no doubt. That's easy.
He's the lock.
And then where do you go from there? You got maybe Tommy Kramer makes it, and then I guess Dante Culpepper
had a great season, 15-1.
That was Randall Cunningham, right? Wasn't that Randall Cunningham's season? That was before Dante Culpepper. I think that was Randall Cunningham. Right? Yeah, the year.
Yeah,
they
I could
lost
be
to Gary
corrected
Anderson.
on that.
I think they drafted Dante Culpepper after that year. But anyway,
I feel like Culpepper was throwing to Moss in that 15-1 year, but I don't know. But
I think it was Cunningham throwing to Moss. But anyway,
Okay.
but the question is, like, does Randall Cunningham go on that? I mean, he played, what do you have? One good year. Does Brett Favre, is he a candidate? I mean, where do you don't have like any Vikings with any longevity after, really Tarkenton, Kramer. I guess Dante Culpepper didn't have a real long career. Yeah, Randall Cunningham, says Marty. Not that I don't know that he's an expert, but anyway, that's my memory. Yeah, I got one other
like
person.
he is.
I got one other person back me up. But anyway,
All right, that's good. That's good. I feel like
it hasn't been great, and you could do that with the Bears too.
Sure.
Course.
I would put Favre on there just to hear Paul Allen's call when the season ended. What are you doing, man?
That is one of the greatest calls because it's so. I mean, it's just so rare, and you have to have a certain amount of power, right, and standing to pull off a call like that and not get completely fired. But I mean, it's so true, and it was just like a chant.
Raw emotion.
It was a direct interstate into every Viking fan's nervous system. I mean, it was exactly what they were feeling.
They love that he said it.
How James K. Polk says Warren Moon, another guy who had a nice resurgence there in Minnesota after most of his career was over.
Man, yeah, they've been through some quarterbacks. Hey, from time as a flat circle here, Andy, Atlanta has a left-handed dual-threat black quarterback named Michael with a last name that is one character off from male genitalia.
That's true. That's an astute observation. I'm kind of jealous I didn't think of that.
It's so stupid.
Remember the long discussion we had on the radio show about bands that if you changed one letter in their name,
yes,
it would become something completely different. And that list went on and on and on. And
we had some great contributions.
I can't remember all of the entries in that list, but it was just gold. Like the Cult was my entry. But
Piss.
Piss. It was so childish, but oh my God, that was
I know.
funny.
It was dumb. Hey, Anthony Rizzo signed with the Cubs to retire Saturday. Rizzo he played in the major leagues 14 years. Glad that he signed with the Cubs. That's what he should do. He's going to retire Saturday. He was, the de facto captain of that 26 Cubs World Series championship team that 2016 that ended that long drought. And one of the more likable Cubs, and this will be a nice send off for him. He's forever appreciated, I think, there for the Cubs. I like it when the guys do this. When I was watching the Cowboys Netflix series there was 8 parts. You just have that Emmitt Smith in a Cardinals uniform, that kind of thing. But he signed a one-day contract with the Cowboys, so he could go out the way he should.
Sometimes they do that. They bring him back as a pinch hitter. It is really cool. And, baseball fans, you just really have some good moments in baseball, right? With the downtime and, guys walking off the field, walking onto the field, walking up to the plate, where the fans can really get into it. But I mean, there was a time where I think we were talking about Anthony Rizzo being one of, if not the most recognizable player in Major League Baseball at that time.
That's right. Yeah, right about that time.
Yeah, where the league was kind of devoid of superstars, but I mean, he really, you could picture his face.
Mm-hmm.
You could think that he would get recognized walking down the street, certainly in a place like Des Moines. But also just he always seemed like a good guy and a guy that, was good with his teammates and the fans.
Pro move there, final out. Cubs finally win the World Series, and he puts that baseball in his back pocket. That was a good move, smart move. Confluence, the official beer of Murph and Andy. Confluence is where Old Tavern keeps selling out. Be sure to ask for it if you don't find it where you pick up your Confluence beer. Let's get some more on a Wednesday.
But wait, there's more from Either Or Eatery and Patio.
Well, this weekend, Either Or is celebrating 2 years in business with a carnival. They're just calling it the second anniversary carnival.
I saw some carnivals this past week.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, there were a whole bunch. If you're up for one more, Murph, this is where you find it. For everybody else, this just looks like a good time. Food and drink specials, and then, of course, they've got the patio that's very popular with the kids. They've got stuff like face painting and cotton candy and balloon art. I love a good balloon animal. I've always been impressed by people that could do that.
Jenny and I had lunch there Monday afternoon at either or. We sat outside because it was a nice day.
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe hitting that tomorrow night. We'll see how I feel. Anyway, all right. Moving on now. The Ingersoll Dinner Theater, which has been just an absolute shithole for years.
The story that won't end.
An eyesore. Let's put it this way. It made the Greenwood Lounge look very nice.
Now you're drunk.
Yeah. Well, it is received a huge renovation. More than just a facelift. This is outside and in. It is nearly back from the dead. Grand opening scheduled for Thanksgiving weekend. Among the programming directors there is Max Wellman. Andrew, I know who you know who he is.
Yeah.
He's one of the band directors down at Noche. Yeah. Is a Des Moines Roosevelt graduate.
He's a crooner.
Yeah, he is. He's a singer. He's kind of like a Harry Connick Jr. guy.
Well, this makes sense to me, Andy. We went to lunch there yesterday, and we had to walk out into the street to get around all that construction out in front of there.
You went to Manhattan Deli?
Manhattan Deli,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, okay.
Went to Manhattan Deli, sorry.
Yeah.
And I should have put that together, that they're getting it done.
Well, and I think they wanted to do this for a long time, but the building owner was really difficult to work with. I know the city of Des Moines City Council was extremely frustrated with him. But finally, I think they pried it loose from him, and good people got in there and took it all over, and it's on its way back. Just going to be called the Ingersoll now. Well, this got me yesterday. I don't know if you guys fell for this too, but the Facebook post that McDonald's had opened its first all-you-can-eat buffet in Branson, Missouri. I mean, this totally
would be a hit.
It made sense.
Yeah.
But then I started looking at it, and I'm like, okay, those burgers look a little too good. They never look like that at McDonald's.
And they would be pushed all around in several different directions. But yeah, this is not a big step from Pizza Ranch.
No, they were just, you're right. I mean, and they said, there was a line around the block, and I've been to Branson. I was not surprised. Then I start zooming in on the faces here in this picture, and it's just totally AI. Damn it.
Of course.
God. Just, that's the real. To me, that's the real problem with AI is just the bummers, that come with it.
Yeah, I'm sure. There'll be more.
On this day in 1960, Mickey Mantle hits a home run at Tiger Stadium that clears the roof in right field. It is estimated to be the longest home run that he ever hit, and maybe the longest anybody ever hit in Major League Baseball. It's 643 feet.
That's stunning. And the only juice he's on is beer and whiskey.
Tobacco juice. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
beer and whiskey.
Tobacco juice.
This is with a guy, he's using a heavy old wood bat with no batting gloves. Just turns on it and absolutely crushes it. I miss Tiger Stadium just for the home runs that used to be hit there. Remember Cecil Fielder just drilling the facade and putting dents in the facade in right field or in left field.
All-Star game, Reggie Jackson put one into the lights.
Into the lights.
Look where the lights are.
It was 440 to dead center. I think Reggie cleared that wall a few times. Oh my God, just incredible. The come and go signs are coming down at everywhere, or roughly all 400 locations in America.
We saw this in Polk City in RVTV Friday.
We did. And the location there in Polk City is among the 20 that are actually not going to become Maverick stations. They've been sold to Mega Saver out of Omaha.
Don't love the name.
Yeah, I don't. Even anytime they put savings, Save a Lot or Pick and Save or
Price Chopper,
Save a Buck or Price Chopper in there, that it's just going to be a little sketch. I don't know. Maybe Mega Saver is
Mega Saver,
Shangri-La gas station convenience stores. But yeah, so this is you expect to see a few of those things popping up. Meanwhile, last Sunday at church,
oh boy,
did somebody actually order a pizza?
Bread of heaven. I'm just going to read a couple verses in your hand, starting at verse 5. It says, likewise, you younger people, submit yourselves to your elders. Yes, all of you be submissive to one another.
That's great. It almost looks like a big screen TV back there.
Wrong door. Wrong door.
Come around the back.
Oh my God, that's so funny. That's your more, everybody.
Grimaldi's fan photos. You can send them to Murph_Andy at IowaEverywhere.com. Grimaldi's coal-fired brick oven pizza, West Des Moines or district at Prairie Trail, Ankeny. And each Friday we give away a $50 gift card to Grimaldi's. AD.
Yeah, here's our friend Cyclone Kathy and her friend who's a 4-year-old named Harper. And she says she is slowly turning her into an Iowa State fan.
Indoctrination.
Yes.
Complete.
Into fandom. Yeah, because right now they kind of look in conflict.
Back in 2023 they did, but yeah, if you see that 2025.
Oh, okay.
picture,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Now I'm seeing the progression. Yeah.
Now, so.
I just saw black. And hey, remember when Iowa State didn't wear black? I got to get past that. Yeah. I see the logo now. Nicely done. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege at this time to introduce Mr. Movie.
It's time to go to the movies with Mr. Movie, Mike Woody, presented by P&P Small Engines.
There he is, Mr. Movie.
Every week, just a little something.
Yeah, a little something.
Wow.
How are things going? How things over at P&P Small Engines? How's our friend Jeff?
You know, I just got literally while you guys were talking, I just got a note from Jeff. And he says that all the stuff preseason is on sale, and anything that was left over from the summer, there's special sales prices.
Andy, you don't need anything, do you?
No, but I do need to get my snowblower tuned up, I think, and this is a good time to do that. They're not busy with
this
that
weekend
stuff.
would be the perfect time because
Yeah.
nobody will be thinking about snow when
else.
it's 94.
Nope,
Well, and
that's the
he's
time
got
to do it,
he's
though.
got the service department ready to go for normal people, Keith, like you and I. But then he's got a special team sitting there for Andy. It's like a little pit crew.
Hey,
at
you
a
know,
race.
I've actually had a pretty good year. I haven't broken anything so far. He did, he serviced it at the beginning of the season, but I haven't broken anything this year.
He may need to do a pickup today. I think everybody wants to stay away from Andy. He's quarantined in his own house at this point.
Yeah.
Out of the box, we're moving around United States and even cities beyond. I think we went to London a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
But today, Boston movies, and this, boy, I was looking at a
deep
list. Yeah, it is a deep list. Of all genres, too. I mean, you got the silly like Ted.
High quality stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure you found some silly stuff, but yeah.
I did, but I wouldn't pick this as my favorite Boston movie, but it was a pleasant surprise for me. And I saw it before going to a Twins game in Minnesota one time. So it's a day I remember fondly, but it's The Town, which I believe Ben Affleck not only starred in, but directed.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's a really intense movie. It's well done, and it just has a great scene that I think of many times, and I've quoted many times. And it's like Ben Affleck comes up, and his best friend is Jeremy Renner, who's just this hothead. And he wakes him up from a dead sleep, and he just says, "I need your help. Can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it later, and we're going to hurt some people." And Jeremy Renner just says, "Whose car are we going to take?" I mean, and then they're off. And it's like you can see, much like in the movie Good Will Hunting, that friendship comes before everything else with these guys, even when it's misguided. But the end is at Fenway Park, where I've been many times as a kid and as an adult, so that was cool to me. I think it's just a really good thriller.
Yeah, I think so too.
I haven't seen
Feels
that
like
movie.
Boston, too.
I've not seen that
it's
movie.
great.
I need to see
It's a great
A
movie.
couple of really good heist scenes.
Yeah, and is it Blake Lively that's
Yes.
Yeah, she's good in this as well. But
There's really-
it's a heist movie.
There's really nothing wrong with this movie. I mean, it's almost perfect.
Is John Hamm the
he's the
like FBI guy
yeah.
in this? Yeah. It's really good. If you haven't seen, and Andy said you haven't, if you haven't seen The Town, check it out soon. You won't regret it. It's really good. And I think we're all trying to pick movies here when we think of these cities that just not only take place in that movie, but the movie kind of brings the city into the plot. And that is certainly the case with The Town. I mean, it ends with like 30 minutes at Fenway Park.
The picture you showed of the nuns or the guys dressed like nuns getting off the, reminded me of high school at Sioux City, Heelan.
Well, I'm sure you got plenty of attention.
I did.
Andy, what do you have? Speaking of nuns.
Yeah, right. Speaking of movies that really make the Catholic Church look bad, mine is Spotlight. I have picked this a number of times before, but it fills that odd space of movies that are about really disturbing subjects, but are infinitely rewatchable.
Mm-hmm.
It's so well done. It's a fascinating piece of history. It is one of the best movies about journalism that there is. It is so well acted, and it's truly a Boston movie. I mean, really, it couldn't be set anywhere else. I mean, well, obviously it's a true story. So, but it shows the power of journalism and newspapers and having investigative journalists, which we have fewer and fewer of as these giant companies that now own all of the outlets divest in their newsrooms and cut these people loose. And it's hard because I really wanted to pick The Social Network here. That's totally Boston and such a good movie. It's so great.
Boston's a strong city for
movies.
It's
a deep list. Yeah, it really, and you're right. It has all the different genres, but Spotlight is definitely my pick here.
One of the things that I respect about Spotlight so much, and part of what does make it rewatchable, is you completely understand what's going on and how bad it is and why it's attempted to be covered up. But at the same time, they don't ever show it to you in a way that makes you not able to watch the movie again.
Yeah.
You know what's going, but your face is not shoved right into the reality of it.
Yeah, pedophile priests, right?
Yeah. Yep. What do you have, Mr. Movie?
You know what? I was going through the list of movies made in Boston, and I get to a movie, and I just stopped looking at the rest of them, because if I'm going to have to pick, and this has got to be a top 5 movie of mine all time, The Verdict, 1982, possibly the best Paul Newman movie ever.
I agree with you on that. And I think this is one of he didn't win the Academy Award. He certainly should have. He's too good looking at that time. He had to get older. But I think this is one of the greatest performances in movie history. I've watched this movie many times, and the down and out ambulance chaser who finds something deep inside him. He finds his compassion and his humanity again because of this one case, and it's against the Catholic Church, and he's up against all of it.
Yeah.
He's amazing in this.
It's just a brilliant film. Charlotte Rampling plays a great character in the movie. Jack Warden, who's usually seen in comedies, is really good. And then, of course, James Mason in perhaps, again, his best role. It's a great story. It's got a nice mystery to it and a very nice twist at the end that leaves you completely satisfied. So if you have not seen The Verdict, and I'm guessing many listening have not, stop and go watch it right now.
Yeah, it holds up well too. It's not dated because of the plot still works, and there's just that great moment when it's like, did you believe her? And of course, the answer is yes. And that it's so good. Also, one of the best endings. It just ends on like, oh, what does that mean?
Yep.
Probably would have won the Academy Award that year, but that's Henry Fonda and on Golden Pond.
Yeah.
So
that's a good movie too.
Tough choice.
Yeah,
there.
That's a tough one. I would have picked The Verdict out of those two, but I did enjoy both of them very much.
We should have everybody vote again.
Yeah, let's vote again. AD, what are you picking here from Boston?
Yeah, I've picked this movie several times. Everybody's seen this movie. It's Good Will Hunting. It's my favorite movie of all time. I watch it at least once a year, even though it's long. It's just, it's like especially now when I rewatch it, it's hard to imagine like every scene is like has some sort of like iconic part to it. And it's so good. Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Robin Williams. I mean, again, everybody's seen this movie.
All three of them won Oscars.
If you haven't seen. Yeah, right.
Yeah, two for writing and Robin Williams for his performance.
Mm-hmm. I always get a little weirded out by Robin Williams' story of his wife farting in her sleep.
that should be something Hassel's bothered by. You are too?
Yeah.
It's her really peccadillo. It's one of her peccadillos.
His accent in that movie is a little. It's a couple clicks off.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
All right. The Conjuring: Last Rites made $83 million at the box office this past week. My goodness, so a big hit.
Have you seen any of these movies?
I don't like scary movies.
Oh, okay. They're actually very well made. This whole series is really good. Patrick Wilson, who we knew was an Academy Award nominated, I believe, actor. Vera Farmiga, I think she's a great actress.
She is.
And it's based on a true couple. That's
okay, but it's not slasher, it's not horror, it's more scare.
It's more scare.
Okay,
yeah.
I can take that.
And the fact that they're true stories that these people wrote about after they went and exorcised this creature. It's just a great series. And you know what? Allegedly this is the final chapter, and I'm okay with that because they do it really well. And I sat there by myself and didn't scare me at all, but it was very well done.
All right. So what's the grade here for The Conjuring: Last Rites?
It's a B+, just shy of an A-, but it's
What do we have coming up at the movie theaters?
Oh, I don't know if this is the end of the season and they're just getting rid of a whole bunch of stuff. We've got Demon Slayer Infinity Castle.
That's a kids movie?
Looks like a video game.
It's a video game.
Okay.
Thing.
Demon Slayer sounds like it would be on a double feature with The Conjuring: Last Rites, but I guess not.
After you've seen this, you can go see Triumph of the Heart, which is about Saint Maximilian Kolbe and his companions. So you've got a little evil, and then Saint Maximilian comes in.
Okay, well that looks interesting.
Yeah, that looks intense as well. Downton Abbey, the grand finale. I know you guys were into it. I don't know if that waned later.
I'll cop to it. I started watching this at some point because my parents wanted me to many years ago, and I just binge watched every season. I've seen the movies too.
It's good.
It's a guilty pleasure.
It is good. It's not something that I can't just drop in on a random episode and get back into it. You kind of have to get into the flow. But it is good. How many times are they going to reheat this thing though? And
I think this is the grand finale. So
whatever. It's just like you said, The Conjuring: Last Rites. I don't buy it after $83 million this
I was going to say
week.
They did very well.
Okay, I see the picture coming up here. There's the one thing
let's
that I
get
want
to the
know.
good one. Let's get to it, Mike. Mr. Movie. Yes.
Final Tap 2, The End Continues.
Even as old as they look here, desperately trying to hang on to the long hair look, the rock and roll kit from their heyday, that's completely accurate. I mean, that's what these bands do, so it's fine.
Right. Yeah, it looks good.
They're leaning into this looking old look.
Well, they did that special release last year of the original film, and I think enough people saw it that there was demand. And I don't think Rob Reiner was really busy anyway, so
yeah,
he just stepped back in and helped him do it.
Jamie Lee Curtis was on 60 Minutes a few weeks ago, and she's married to Christopher Guest, of course, and he looked a lot better than this.
Yeah, they're leading
into this, but I've watched the trailers. I think there's been 2 released so far, and I was I was actually kind of happy to see they were kind of funny, but it leads me to believe that maybe they're holding, sometimes you watch a trailer and you're like, oh, I bet that's every funny scene in the movie right there. I feel like maybe this is the opposite. Like
I'm betting there's some scenes they couldn't show in the trailer.
Well, and I almost see these guys as guys that would like hold back a little bit for the trailer to make you actually watch the movie to see the really fun stuff. But I mean, they've had so long to come up with new,
bits.
This one goes up to 11 bits.
My son Cade wants to see this, but I feel like you have to watch the first one or you're lost, right?
Absolutely. Has he not seen the first one?
No, we're gonna have to check that out.
He'll
first.
get a kick out of watching that with you. God, that'll be fun.
Oh my gosh, I'll laugh a lot. Mr. Movie, we still have more movies coming out this weekend.
Bang Bang with Tim Blake Nelson as a brutal boxer.
I'll
Toy
watch
Story 30th anniversary. Woody is back.
Wait, hang on. Did you say Toy Story is 30 years old?
Sorry. Yes. How about Sound of Music
yeah.
is 60 years old?
Yeah.
Now can you imagine that on the IMAX screen? Because I can.
Is it going to be on the IMAX screen?
I believe it is.
Wow, that's a big deal. All right, you have a lot to get to this weekend.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you won't have to worry about the football games. Just go to the movie theater and stay there.
Yeah, just stay right there. All right, great to see you, Mike. Thank you, Mr. Movie.
Guys. See you later.
Enjoy the movies. Mr. Movie presented by P&P Small Engines. Time for Throwdown.
Throwdowns. It's Throwdowns. Backed by Heartland Tire and Auto.
Throw it down. Heartland Tire and Auto brings us Throwdowns. They treat you like family in Ankeny, Waukee, Knoxville, Boone, and Creston. Andy, we'll start with you. Rocco Becht has a couple of really good tight ends, a few running backs, some up-and-coming receivers. Other than Becht himself, who is Iowa State's best offensive player?
I think I'm going to go ahead and pick Kyle Conradi. Having a weapon like that with that type of leg, it's not the picking the kicker isn't the sexiest thing in the world to do, but that is an option at almost any point in the field. So I don't think you can look down on that, and especially at this point where we're still getting to know some of these other guys. I'll pick Kyle Conradi.
That's a really good pick, and the kicker doesn't come to mind for me, but it's kind of like the Patriots all those years. That kicker wasn't their best player, but man, did he win them some games, and Conradi's doing that. Can I just go with the tight end position?
No, you have to pick Bramer or Burkle.
I'm not sure which one of them is better at this point. Burkle made the big plays on Saturday. I think Bramer might be the more highly regarded of the two, but man, they've got two weapons there. As the receivers slowly come along, that's nice. Gives you a break.
Murph, a tougher question here. Through 2 games, who is Iowa's best player, period?
Oh, I don't have a good feel for this, but Aaron Graves, maybe. Logan Jones at center is a good candidate, but he did get pushed around a little bit by Tamatoa McDonough when it counted on that final drive. I'll go with Graves. He tipped that pass. That almost made a big difference. He's good. Almost.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me not to
just go with the backup quarterback.
I mean, the Jennings dunker or something like that, maybe. I mean, it's hard not to pay attention to the NFL reports on him.
Best mustache.
I mean,
it really illustrates how through 2 games, no player on either side of the ball has really elevated to a point where you have to watch this guy. There's no Jay Higgins at linebacker. There's no tight end, or we saw Williams look good in game 1 at running back, but not so much last Saturday.
It typically takes a few games. Those linebacker and tight end, those positions turn over for Iowa, and it takes a few games to decide, who the next star is in that unit. But there were some guys that had some decent plays in the Iowa State game that I think maybe you can start keeping an eye on. But I don't know. I guess I just picked Jennings Dunker at this point. Yeah, he did.
All right, Andy, if you open one of these fun-sized Starbursts with the 2 candies in them,
love them.
What 2 colors are you hoping to get?
Strawberry and cherry. It's not even close.
Pink and red. Murph?
Pink and red.
I'm hoping to get 2 pink because that strawberry is so far above the other ones for me. Like I cherry pick the strawberry.
I thought about that before. How did they do that? I mean, Starburst. How did you do that?
How did you do
the strawberry? I mean,
give us the secret.
It's amazing.
I know
it's very good. I will say, give me a red and a yellow because if you eat them together, they're fantastic.
You're all about combining. I
like the candy combinations. Yeah,
you need to come up with like the Mount Rushmore of candy combinations.
Oh, I could absolutely.
That's coming soon. Now the Andrew Downs audio drop of the day. We call it the AD Squared.
It's powered by Game Day Men's Health. I'm headed up to the Prairie Trail neighborhood in Ankeny tomorrow to get my testosterone booster shot. You can go to West Des Moines, North Liberty, wherever you are. There's a Game Day Men's Health near you that can help you out. Free consultation. They'll let you know what you need, what you don't need, and how they can help you. A week ago, guys, you guys were in Lorville on RV TV. And I will say, like, my new favorite content, I think the worst place on the internet is Murph's Facebook comment section. But terrible. I think one of my new favorite places on the internet is anytime Murph posts a video of his wife, Jenny, sprinting and just like random. You just see a random video of Murph in Vegas, and all of a sudden there goes Jenny sprinting across the street. Well, in Lorville, on RV TV, you guys had a little sprinting competition.
Sprinting challenge.
Yeah. And I know exactly how this is going to go,
Wow.
Ed is going to cheat. I'm out.
Andy. What the crap, Ed?
They call me Fast Eddie.
Man, that drag car went to 100 miles an hour in a couple seconds.
When they finally did that drag race, we were shooting a story about 8 blocks away.
You could hear it?
It sounded like we were standing right next to him. That was so loud.
One of the many things I love when you get out of Des Moines and you get out to rural Iowa in these small towns is the rules are just different there. It's like, hey, can we have an idea for a video, but we would need a highway closed down. Oh yeah, no problem. And then the sheriff shows up and they get an EMT on scene and they close the road off. The people from town come in to watch. It's just It's so cool. It's like back in Diagonal, however many years ago that was. Hey, we have an idea, but the joke would be that Ed is smoking in the boys' room. Could you open the school up and we have Ed smoking a cigar and oh yeah, I'll call the superintendent right now. Should be down here and like within 15 minutes we'll get you in there. Awesome. Appreciate that so much. That was fun. By the way, happy hour 6:30 after the newscast tomorrow night. 6:30, we'll have the happy hour. Quickie poll results presented by WCI Pools and Spas.
Do you believe? Sorry.
No, I was just reacting to the 92%.
Yeah. Do you believe the Iowa Hawkeyes can still go 10-2? 92% say no. See offense/schedule. 8% say yes, see 2002/history. Yeah, I don't know what to expect, right? Kind of staring over the edge of the abyss here this season. I know what to expect on Saturday. Okay, how about that?
It's probably not as bad. I mean, we do overreact, especially to the Cyhawk game.
I'm not saying that it's necessarily bad. I don't know what to expect. I don't know. I mean, maybe there'll be some good things. I don't know where that's going to come from.
It's funny because you know exactly what you're going to see. You just don't know what the outcome of these games are going to be. Like, you know exactly what to expect as far as how Iowa is going to play in these games. Whether or not they win feels kind of like a crapshoot.
I don't know. You know, there were in the past. There were some things that you just felt very confident in, and you knew that you had a Torrey Taylor, you had a defense, you had a Phil Parker defense with some real stars. I mean, I know Phil Parker's still there. I don't know enough about the defense, though, to believe that it's going to be another stellar Iowa defense. Maybe it will be. And then I don't know enough. Punting is clearly not the same. Clearly not the same.
That
hurts because those
AP
go together.
All-Century team, first-team punter. It's hard to replace that.
Well, and then Dakin had kind of a rough game against Iowa State. So I don't know. I genuinely hope that some things work out. Maybe this tune-up game is what they need.
Andy, hope you feel better. Get some rest.
Me too.
AD, thanks for all your help. Thank you for being part of Murph and Andy on Iowa Everywhere. If you get a chance, please like and subscribe. We're back for a fun Friday. We hope you are too.
Murph and Andy was brought to you by Ramsey Subaru on Hickman Road in Urbandale.